if you can hear us. And welcome. Welcome all our guests, and welcome our special guests from Covalent, Mr. Pratik Gandhi and Ms. Jacqueline Kim Perez. Hi, glad to have you here.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. This is exciting.
Okay. So we'll just wait a few more moments for people to join, if you're okay with that.
Yeah,
sure.
And
Sounds good.
If you're here with us in the chat, you can start asking your questions if you want. We will be seeing everything, and we'll be answering your questions.
Are we able to chat and interact with the what do you call it, participants too?
Yes, if you open the link that I sent you through Discord, you can also join the chat on YouTube.
Okay.
Right there.
Oh, nice.
And I will be putting the comments from people on the screen so that you will see them also once they start coming. Okay, so to start with, why don't you start with telling us a bit more about yourself, who you are, and what are you doing at Covalent? What's your job?
Pratik, you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Pratik. I work at Covalent on the growth and marketing side of things. I've been in the crypto space for about 4 or 5 years now, working on the growth side of things, and like working with projects like Near Protocol, Bitclave, BZX, Terminal, and so on. And I'm super excited to be here today. This is, at Covalent, we believe in like 1 billion possibilities. So I'm looking forward to kind of being here and just talking and answering your questions.
So I'm Jacqueline. Everybody calls me Jackie. I feel like I see some familiar names on here, but yeah, I'm the head of token marketing at Covalent. I've basically been in the blockchain space for about 6 years. I've always been a huge proponent when it comes to spreading education, especially in these days. We see a lot of like traditional media just talking about like Bitcoin or like pumps and dumps, but I feel like there's so much more in terms of being able to focus on like the technological like aspects and what projects are trying to do. So any chance that I get to like speak about any of those things in terms of education, I love doing that. I have experience in like business development, operations, event management. I've worked with top tier angel investors, managed like different portfolios in different sectors, like blockchain being one of them, gaming, film, health, and also virtual and augmented reality. But yeah, I basically run the Alchemist Ambassador Program at Covalent and have known Ganesh for about like 6 years. And we started in the space around like the same time. So it's awesome to see the growth, but very happy and very fortunate to basically be part of a team that is focusing on the same like mission and vision, and whose like passions just like it's just been the same, and very, very lucky. So thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming over to speak with us, to speak with our community. And you mentioned the Alchemist Program. So I would like to start with the question, because you have like one of the most impressive ambassadorships programs that I've seen in the whole crypto space. Actually, I think it might be the best ambassadorship program. So who is the mastermind behind it? Who came up with the idea? Who created the system and the procedures for the Alchemist Program?
Oh man, so with a program, it's something that basically the idea was Ganesh's, and the structure was set up by our, well, in terms of like the incentives and rewards, the entire structure behind that was set up by Adrian, who is our CFO and COO. And in the beginning, it was a lot of Niall and myself Niall's our head of communications, now head of product marketing, but we had initially like set everything up in the beginning. Right now it's just me who runs it, but basically it's been like a team effort in bringing like different components of the program together, especially because we have like different skill sets that we can add. But it's taken a life of its own. It's something that we, in the beginning, what we noticed is community members asking for ways to either find job opportunities, either finding ways that they could break into like the blockchain space, but feeling comfortable at different comfort levels, because it can be intimidating for like an average day person who doesn't understand anything about it, because there's a lot of noise, but there is a lot of amazing, vibrant communities. Or people wanting to find ways to contribute to our community or like find jobs within Covalent. So we decided, why not dedicate 1% of our total token allocation that goes towards this program that's just towards growth and development, where our team can pass down like wisdom, knowledge, conduct like workshops, have alchemists like take part in like hackathons, have access to people of different skill sets from all over the world where they can learn and step into leadership positions, but at the same time get incentivized for that, and also open their doors of opportunity to potentially finding jobs in the space or getting poached by partners, which we've been seeing happening, which has been great. So that's always been the mission and vision, and we want to remove that barrier. But we have, in a span of 4 months now, we've been seeing the community go from our 25 original OGs that we've had to 2,500, 30 regional communities, all ran by alchemists with thousands of community members in each, which has been awesome to see, or like a few hundred if they're just starting out. But these are all self-initiatives that the community wants to take for people who really believe in the mission and vision or are just hungry to learn. But yeah, we're changing many more aspects of the program, which we'll be announcing soon, which I'm very excited. Our team is very excited too. We're going to take it up a next level. But it's been great to either seeing like competitors or partners trying to like replicate or trying to implement the same components in order to give their communities the same options. And we're potentially going to have partners collaborate with us in the future for things that we're organizing in order to create more of like the cross collaboration and really encourage people to learn about different projects and different technology, but also championing the narrative of Covalent. So yeah, just a little overview.
Yeah, it's really an impressive job. So you said that currently there are 2,500 alchemists active, yes?
Yes.
Are you planning to recruit any more alchemists?
So we'll be releasing some news on some changes that we're doing, but the initial plan in the future is to hopefully be able to scale up to like 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. But we need to create and shift into more of a sustainable model, especially with what alchemists have been asking for. So we'll be releasing some details soon on like the new shift, which I think is going to be pretty exciting. And I feel like it's going to create more of we already have a vibrant community, but it's going to definitely differentiate us from like other communities from what we're planning. But we'll share more later.
Okay. And is there like a time frame for how long the Alchemist program will run?
So initially, as I mentioned, it's something that we do want it to run just ongoing. It's something continuous. So we're working really hard in the back end to make that happen, where we do want everything to be community driven, self-sustained, where people are able to thrive, either create that into like their own job opportunity or work at their own pace and receive salaries, depending on how like the community dictates that, or how they want to contribute. But that's where we want it to go. So it's not something that we want it to stop. But again, we need to move to a more sustainable model for that. So I don't really have like an answer to like when it actually stops, because we don't want it to stop. So we're trying to build it up where it continues, but it's championed and the power is given back to the community in order for that to happen.
So by the sustainable model for the Alchemist program, do you mean like a new solution to reward people participating in the Alchemist program? Because I think that the tokens are going to run out from this 1% dedicated to the Alchemist program. So are you going to come up with some new reward system?
And that's where the details we'll share a little bit later. So we're still working a lot on the structure of it. But again, to create the sustainability where we give the community members the power to dictate things, it's that's where that's really going to come in, because we do have a lot of leaders who are alchemists, or a lot of people who they just love what we're doing. So we do want to put them in the position where they're more self-independent, where they're able to work on like more projects, form their teams, and find opportunities that way. But I mean, if you take a look at our social and like what people are doing, and like building cakes, spending time with their families, like watercoloring with their kids, like showing us like around their city in terms of like tourism, doing like proof of workout where they're showing us how they're like living sustainably and healthy, which is awesome. There's so much in terms of, again, where this program can go, but we just have to come up with like the next steps and ramp up. But again, we'll announce that.
Right. Okay. Thank you for this information. If you have any more questions regarding the Alchemist program, feel free to ask them in the chat. And right now I would like to move, because I've asked about the headcount of the Alchemist program, but what's the current headcount of the Covalent team? Can you share this information? Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, so we currently have around 30 plus team members, and it's from like every single team member has a different level of expertise. They've been in the space for a long time, and they bring a different level, of experience, which combined is probably like 100 plus years of like experience in different sectors of the space. So it's very unique in that sense. And in terms of developers, we have around either 10 or 15 plus. So it's pretty awesome to see that. But yeah, that's basically our team.
So almost half of the team is the developer team.
Yes.
Impressive, very nice. That's why you're progressing so fast with the development, I guess. Great. And we have one question from Twitter, from LWS Luke. On this also, how is the team ramping up its headcount and resources to demand of Covalent HQ services?
Pratik, do you want to take that?
Sure. So we just finished our quarterly meetings in terms of like what needs to, like, who are the people who we need to kind of onboard. So we have like almost, I don't know, like a dozen positions open, and we will be rolling them out soon. And then, yeah, and there are like different categories. I mean, in terms of marketing, on the dev side of things, on the operation side of things, event side of things. So yeah, there's quite a bit of hiring that's coming in the next few weeks.
Okay, great. You've heard it, people. Keep your eyes open. There will be some job openings for you in coming weeks. We will surely also keep you updated on all the news about this. So regarding the Covalent API itself, you're currently at the moment working with a few blockchains already. Are you planning any expansions in the near future? Any new blockchains that will be available for processing by Covalent API?
Yeah. So in terms of the blockchains, we've already indexed about 15 blockchains. Just this month, we've finished indexing two of the top layer 2 solutions in the space. That's Arbitrum and RSK, which is like a layer 2 on top of Bitcoin. And by the end of the year, like as we proceed, like we are like hustling and like getting new blockchains indexed. So hoping to see, I don't know, between anywhere between 20 to 30 blockchains to be indexed, like through the thing that we are doing. So basically, we will have, like I said, 20 to 30 blockchains indexed.
So judging by this number, you should be the biggest provider of this kind of API to different blockchains by the end of the year. And can we expect any announcements of new use cases of the Covalent API in near future? Are you working on any new integrations?
Yeah. So if you can, like one thing that we have tried doing is focusing on getting the product out in and having different use cases in the industry. So one of the use cases is, of course, wallet addresses and how you can get like historical accounting data from the API. And then we have and we have different use cases in terms of NFTs or DAOs or social tokens, and we will be seeing more of these use cases coming in the near future. At the same time, we are also launching our own developed products, using our own API. So that's for me it's pretty exciting for us to promote those products. And yeah, one of the products is actually launching by the end of this month, and hoping we go with a big announcement around that. And we have other things lined up too, in terms of other projects using our API and discovering new use cases, because all we provide is data. So and as long as you have your whatever imagination and what you want to do with that, you can build anything because we have the data.
Okay, great. Thanks for the information. I bet you can't shed any more light on those use cases, because otherwise you would have said it already. So I will not be asking about it. We'll just wait patiently for the announcements. We have one question from the Netherlands community coming from Jarno. What competitive advantages does Covalent have over other similar projects? And how will Covalent use these competitive advantages to stay ahead of competition?
I can go into a little bit about the things that differentiate us, and then Pratik, if you want to touch on the competitive advantage after. So with Covalent, we're basically the only the problems that we're solving. We are the only industry-leading company that provides an easy-to-use, no-code solution through our unified API. It's that means that you're actually able to access all the data, because we've indexed. Oh my gosh, my voice! The worst time for that to happen.
Get some water.
I know, I've been drinking bubble tea, but yeah, it's that means that you're able to access all data because we've indexed the entire blockchain. So imagine having that level of transparency that people have been searching for, or it's very needed in the space. So we not only have dApps as customers, but also exchanges, wallets, custodians, validators for taxation. Our services are broadly applicable, but other projects are small and narrowly focused, which gives us a big advantage. But with the API, it actually gives billions of possibilities to what use cases you can actually create, what data you can fetch, build on your dashboards, being a developer or non-developer, where no code solution comes in, and why it's very attractive. So if you need access to every single historical data transaction, every single wallet address, every single contract, and more, you're able to do that with us. And you can also do that with the API, whereas with other projects, it's not we find it's not really scalable. It's not easy to build on, or you need to have experience as a high-skilled developer to code and maintain applications. And again, that's why we talk about it being a no-code solution where you don't have to be a developer. It's very easy to use, and we feel everybody should have access to that data, so they don't have that barrier, because it can get expensive for projects. And we want people to have the chance to be able to retrieve simple blockchain data. But on top of that, it's full transparency, access to rich analytics that people need from top data infrastructures of several projects in the space. But it also allows you to be part of a democratized network by simply holding our token, where you can be part of a very vibrant community, which allows you to stake, earn fees, vote on proposals that will benefit ecosystems as a whole. So there's different differentiators besides us having the Covalent API, the experience on our team, but also being part of a vibrant community and the opportunities that are to come. It's really been able to set us apart from other projects. So yes, that's what I have to add. Pratik, go ahead and add on anything that you want to.
Yeah, just what Jackie said. It's a no-code solution, and from a technical perspective, just to make it a little easy for anyone who's listening. Essentially, we are looking at a big Excel sheet and that's all the data that there is. And through that data, we can basically take like what I mean, all kinds of data, like wallet balances, every position, every transaction that goes underneath that, and making sure everything is indexed and made it available for the broader community, like customers or blockchains and everyone who like wants the access to this data. And all of this is made available in like less than 5 minutes. And there's no other solution in this industry at this point that can give you data in like minutes. And yeah, so that's what the magic is with the Covalent API, and basically yeah, like that's our competitive advantage. And just to add to that, I mean, since like there's also a talk about multi-chain in this industry, we are like multi-chain, like we have indexed 15 blockchains at this point. And like I said, we will be indexing about 30 blockchains by the end of the year. So that's also another advantage that we have in terms of we being first in indexing some of the top blockchains in like different regions, and there are. So yeah, like that's what I would say, yeah, as our basically competitive advantage.
Yeah, so basing on your answers and general information on Covalent project, we can say that you are like light years away from your competition with your solution. And Covalent is surely an impressive and complex project. And we have an interesting question, I think, from the chat from Crypto Future. What was the biggest problem you faced on this project?
Do you want me to go ahead?
Sure, sorry. I feel like I'm always like,
we'll take it.
Yeah, so essentially we are looking at blockchain data, and like, yes, it is available publicly, but the problem is it's not accessible. So like that's the biggest problem at this point. And apart from it not being accessible, it's not, I mean, you can't make sense out of it. So what we are doing is we are making it available in a way that we like go in like deep whatever trenches, and make sure that like there are different sets of data that we make available from with our API. I mean, we've seen what blockchain technology has done to the whatever overall crypto, whatever fintech space, and like ushering into the new whatever like decentralization movement, and like getting better security, better transparency to the ecosystem. But as we see there are like different protocols and different chains and different dApps coming, it is also very important for us to have like the complex immutable data to be made available for anyone who wants it. So that's what we aim to give in terms of making sure this data being utilized by various organizations, institutions, individuals to get like basic like useful insight in like different things. So that's what we make aware of, and that's the problem basically that what we are solving, making data accessible, democratizing the whole concept of data in blockchains, and make like and of course being the intermediary for everyone who wants the access.
Okay, thank you for this extensive answer. I think it covers the question, how are you going to face this problem and resolve it. And to this end, we also have another question from the Netherlands community, because you mentioned about the like a mass adoption of Covalent. So coming once again from Jarno, what changes have to take place within the blockchain ecosystem from a regulatory point of view in order to speed up mass adoption and increase the effect of blockchain technology at projects like Covalent?
Well, I guess I can give like a bit of my thoughts on that. In
Sure.
terms of like the regulatory, I feel like Adrian, our CFO and CEO, would be able to answer this question a lot better as he deals with legal. But the thing is, anything can change. Like, and we've been able to see that throughout the years. In terms of either like regulation rules, but in terms of being able to reach mass adoption, and something that I've talked about with other partners that we can all agree is that there are major gaps in us having conversations in terms of educational aspects. So right now, the big problem in traditional media is we're seeing a lot of people like talk just about like Bitcoin and that's the best option, but people don't realize what solutions these projects are trying to build, the possibilities. And there's this misconception on how there's two differentiations, or having blockchain and cryptocurrencies like interchangeable. So nobody is really talking about the technology right now. And I think we'll see more of a shift when people start talking about that, instead of just Bitcoin, or instead of, again, like the how much money you can make, how much has been dumped. You can find so many cool opportunities with other projects. And that's why I always champion, especially like the educational component to it. And that's why I feel like it's very important to talk about how vibrant communities encourage people to look at like different tools, look at what other projects are doing to spark those conversations. Because if you talk to somebody in like who's an everyday person who has not even touched anything related to like crypto communities or even the media, and you mentioned the word blockchain, it's like, what? You say Bitcoin, there's already like a huge misconception around that. It has nothing to do with the technology, or again, misconceptions around that. But it's unique in a sense with us, because we're very focused on data and like different mission and visions that we have too. But data is something that's continuing to grow and will do so at such a fast pace. And I feel like the majority of people don't realize how big of a part that actually plays in our lives, and how big it is and important it is in the blockchain and crypto space, where the technology is actually changing the world. So I don't think it's going to go anywhere. There might be things or environments that change, but we have no control over some of the changes that like might happen or are occurring. So that's just kind of like my thoughts. But yeah, Pratik, would love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like regulation or regulatory bodies or frameworks basically stand in between Web 3.0 and Web 2.0. And I think there is a room for that. Basically, for us to go from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, there needs to be a Web 2.5. And that's where the regulation or the regulatory frameworks come in, because regulation basically gives more adoption to the space. So if we have like better regulatory frameworks around things like around the globe, I mean, and some of the regions have come up with like amazing frameworks. So if we follow them, if we see what's good, if we take a leaf out of their books, I think that would be a sweet spot for everyone in this space, for it to kind of grow and like get more people, and everyone will feel safe. The way fintech was like super new around 2010-11, like right after the crash that happened, and yeah, I mean, once the regulatory framework kicked in, we saw a lot of fintech startups and like different fintech hubs being created around the world. So likewise, we will see a similar kind of adoption curve in crypto as well.
Yeah, I think it's a common misconception that people are having right now, because recently we had some news regarding different countries cutting the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, Binance, and so on. But it's all those moves are leading us to more regulations, and having those regulations in place might actually be a better solution for us to increase the adoption of cryptocurrencies in general. I agree with you on that. But you, Jackie, you mentioned that educational aspect of the project, and Covalent is surely doing an extreme lot in terms of education, also through the Alchemist program. The question is, are you also engaging, or are you planning to engage in some real life, let's say, education about cryptocurrency?
Yeah, and that's something that we're working towards in the program. Like right now, when we've talked to other partners or like different communities, they are asking for these type of curriculums, these type of workshops, where can you go to actually learn about blockchain or like basics when it comes to like industry leaders. So we've been finding institutions who are actually setting up curriculums, because right now I'm finding that there's actually not a lot of educational like campuses like teaching these type of things, because it's new. It's very new to everybody. So for an example, we've been in conversations with Hague University, that is located in the Netherlands, that they actually have curriculums where you can receive certification or accreditation for learning basics about blockchain, the basics on like crypto trading, like how to build a wallet, what is a wallet, how to use it, just like the basics like that we really want to integrate and involve in our program with like-minded partners who want to spread that mission and vision and have it basically like centralized where everybody can access those tools and build that safe space where people feel comfortable to learn about all aspects, and also have access to people who have more experience in the space or that want to break into, let's say, learning about like development, but on different levels, whether if it's like Solidity and like smart contracts. So it's definitely something that we are looking to integrate in the future in the program, but we are looking to also have workshops ran by Alchemists that we're organizing in the back end, where industry leaders are going to be teaching basically like their expertise, and either you'll be able to receive like NFTs as like prizes, or it'll be like institutions and other, let's say like professors who are actually experienced in the space being able to teach, again, where you can receive like credits or like a certificate, and it will count. Like when I talked to Jordy from Hague, he said they've had conversations with other campuses where if you receive accreditation and if it's not recognized in other campuses, they will spark conversations between those other institutions to make sure it is, and to spread that message and to have more blockchain-based curriculums be encouraged. So it's nice even to see coding boot camps that are implementing being able to learn Solidity, which is like major. So yeah, it's something that we all like want to work towards. It's not a problem that I think just us at Covalent see, but again, other partners that we've sparked conversations with. But yeah, we're working on that.
Great. Very glad to hear that, because I'm very much looking forward to seeing more adoption and more knowledge about cryptocurrency among regular, let's say, people who are not involved in the crypto space right now. Pratik, would you like to add something to this as well?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Jackie, you want to say something?
Do you want to talk about the hackathons too? I totally forgot, because it's another great way. So sorry.
Yes. Please tell us more.
Yeah, so one of the ways, again, this falls under education, but one of the ways like projects can essentially like get newer people in this space is also by doing hackathons or running hackathons. Basically, you create an opportunity for folks who are already like have some kind of skill set. In this case, it's going to be like developers. So even if you are a Web2 developer and know like fair bit of JavaScript, TypeScript, or SQL, I mean, you still can do a lot of things like just participating and like being a part of these hackathons. There are multiple hackathons running at any given point in time in the space. We are we basically organize a couple of hackathons. One of them is 1 million wallets. We just concluded the 1 million wallets hackathon with Phantom, and we do these hackathons with our partners, the blockchains that we have indexed. So and we do see a lot of traction from all these projects and people who actually want to come in the space, do something, learn in like 48 hours, whatever time, and just get along. So I think that's one of the ways like projects can essentially learn in like basically creating different set of opportunities, and hackathons or running hackathons is definitely one of them. One thing I'd also kind of touch upon is just by running hackathons, I mean, you can get these great developers because the talent in this space is also scarce. So you literally have to search for smart contract developers. So which means this is like a very big opportunity for Web2 developers to like learn about things in like 48 hours or 100 hours, put your time and get on board and like, I don't know, skyrocket your careers essentially. So yeah, this is the time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for explaining more about this. You can find more information about the hackathons on all the Covalent channels to which we invite you to join. We have spoken a bit about the mass adoption of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. We have another question in the chat, somehow connected with that. Once again from Crypto Future. Do you think that Fiat will be a thing of the past? What's your opinion on that?
Jackie, you want to take that? All right.
Well, that's so interesting. Like, I feel like everything is changing to becoming digital or digitized. I mean, we can take it in a simple form. How like now I don't even carry like any currency or like bills on me. Everything is just like tapping on what do you call it? Like my Apple Wallet. Everything is just moving to mobile or online, which I feel creates like a different level of opportunities. Will that take time? I think that it will, but I feel like we're already moving towards that and might end up dying off in a few years or like quite a few years. But I kind of take it as you're comparing it, or you see a lot of us comparing this space to kind of like the big .com boom or like the internet, or even how people were so against it because they didn't understand it, but like how it's transformed and changed our lives and able to open up just a variety of opportunities. So I personally think that it might fizzle out, but that's going to take time. I mean, there's a lot of steps that go into that, but in terms of things moving digital and be able to create like things that are easier to access, that provide opportunities to people from other parts of the world that necessarily like wouldn't have it, and it being digital would again be even more amazing. Already hearing like the opportunities it's creating, but there's also always going to be kind of like backlash or backfire for traditional things that have already been ingrained and set on how we functioned as a society in general. But yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing your opinion. Pratik, what would you like to say on that?
I think there will be room for fiat. Like even if like everything is going digital, there will be room for fiat in some form or the other. We cannot like just like take fiat out of the equation and come up with like a replacement. So in some form there will be. I mean, some existence will be there of fiat. We've seen USD as like the #1 fiat in the world for the last, I don't know, 100 years. Yeah, the next 100 years, it could be like, I don't know, like it could be Bitcoin, it could be Ethereum, it could be some other coin, but I won't like completely eliminate fiat anywhere.
And there just comes fiat. It's like,
Yeah, I also think that there will also always be room for fiat. Although we are seeing a lot and more national banks exploring the possibilities of introducing CBDCs.
Yep.
So definitely there is a lot of movement in that direction, but we'll see how it plays out. I think that what the first step necessary for that would be what we discussed before, the regulation. Because without the regulation, nothing of that will be possible to do. One more question from Crypto Future. I will I will answer this one. Will I be able to join your team? If so, when? We've already spoke in the beginning of the stream. You can rewatch it on YouTube. Covalent will be soon opening a dozen of new positions in their team. So keep your eyes open on the announcement channels because soon you will have your chance. And one more question from the chat coming from Tolga. As a statistician, I love data attitude of Covalent indeed. What surprising data magic moves should we expect? So what magic moves do you have?
Yeah. So I'll take that, Jackie. So we have Alpha Alarm, which is basically like a magic data kind of factory that Brandon is basically leading. Brandon is our data scientist. So what you can do is just go on Twitter and find for the handle Alpha Alarm. So and it's very easy. And what happens there is every week there is like a breakdown of a very like the cool thing that has happened in crypto, and we are basically dissecting in terms of crunching and munching data around that and providing like amazing analysis and putting it forward. So the reason that's it's called Alpha Alarm, so basically just giving you alpha from the data side of things. So the handle is Alpha Alarm underscore HQ, for anyone wants to kind of follow and like learn about more whatever data things that are coming from outside. So hats off to Brandon and Leilani, who's also kind of doing great things behind the scenes.
Okay, thank you very much. So let us talk a bit more about the CQT token itself for a moment. Let's start, let's say, from the beginning, because C. Damien T. In our chat asked in the beginning, in terms of Covalent TGE, what are you thinking about it? Would you change something if you could do it again? So who would like to take this one?
Yeah, should I take that, Jackie? Or
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I see why that question came in. Basically, we did the TGE with CoinList, one of the top players in this space. In terms of like launching or doing a public sale, we understand that a lot of people were not able to get in because of the spots, basically. But yeah, I mean, one thing that I can suggest is, I mean, like, of course, we can't do that again. And if we had to do it again, we would have just like, yeah, done it from CoinList, because that's like the best solution that we thought, and we believe in CoinList in terms of like making the public sale happen. But what we could or we can still do is welcome you. Being a part of the, let's say if you want to, and we are coming up with like a version which is like way like Web3 focused, like of the Alchemist program. So maybe you can be a part of that and be a part of like a sustainable economy where you can like learn, earn, and at the same time add value to the whole ecosystem. So that's what I can say. But yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it's not a lot that we can do if there are like less spots for like a lot of people who want to kind of get in. We got about 12,000 people, and there were about, I think, 100,000 people around kind of waiting to get in. So yeah, that's something that we cannot like really predict. But yeah, this is something we definitely can. We welcome you all to be a part of our Discord, to be a part of our community on Telegram, and just keep learning as to what all you can do being a part of this. So yeah, this is I think this is like the best time for it to do it right now. And yeah, there's a lot that we are planning that you can be a part of eventually.
Yes, we encourage you to join us on all the Covalent channels. There's really a lot going on each day, so you will surely learn a lot and have a lot of fun with on those channels. Jackie, would you like to add something, or can we move on?
Nope, I'm all good.
Okay, so regarding the CQT token, I would say that it held its price quite good in the current, let's say, slightly bearish market, so it's doing quite good. And what are you planning to keep the price of CQT at this level or a higher level in terms of future token releases? How are you planning to work on the token price?
Yeah. Sorry. You want to take that question, Jackie?
Go ahead. I can add on if needed.
Yeah. So basically, we don't talk about the token price. The token price is market based, and it's all completely driven by the market. Of course, what we have in control is the way the token can be used in terms of creating different utilities. So one of them is, of course, the token being a native governance token. And then there's also there's also the utility where you can stake the token and earn more CQT, let's say on like a sushi program, and something that we are planning to do as well, wherein you could stake CQT and like be a validator and earn more CQT. Those things are also coming in the pipeline. And third, being a part of the community, wherein one of our endpoints, like the C endpoint C, essentially allows the community to kind of get together and query data and earn CQT in return. So that's also in the works. So there are different ways, in which CQT is basically, the way we want the CQT token to be kind of utilized. But yeah, I don't know, we are not in the best position to talk about the price speculation or where the price would be, or how we are essentially looking at making the price go up. So that's not in our hands. That's driven by the market. But what I can tell you is, by doing all these activities, of course, we want the investors to be kind of empowered, and of course make a good buck out of it. But yeah, and that goes back to the product side of things, like making the product better, creating different avenues where people can learn about Covalent API, or like re-indexing newer blockchains, newer communities joining Covalent. So all of that essentially helps the CQT token get its visibility in the market, and hopefully the price goes up. But that's not what we openly talk about, or we basically don't speculate on the price openly. Jackie, you wanted to ask something on that?
Yeah, and it's something Pratik put it, basically summarized it beautifully. We tend to focus, and we want to focus more on the long term. So any of the things happening short term, for us, it's the long term, making sure that we have different things set up. It's focusing on the product, the community, making sure we can champion that, and having things community driven, the team, the expertise, experience. Those are things that we know will have us come out and win. And so hence why we organize and focus on OKRs that we need to hit. But it's always long term, and then things will follow after that. So yeah. But yes, with what Pratik said.
Okay. Thank you. And I think that one of the most anticipated features is the possibility of staking that you mentioned. Is there a more or less time schedule? When can we expect that possibility to be available?
Okay. So staking will be available soon. We are working closely with our staking partners. We have 6 staking partners, some of the top names in the industry, and we are working with them closely. It will be live soon. We will be making big announcements around that, and hoping that it happens end of this month or early next month. But yeah, that's what we are aiming at in terms of making that thing live. Of course, there are other things that we have planned around staking as well. So stay tuned. That's all I can say.
Okay, great. So it's going to be exciting summer once you start with the announcements, if you have 6 companies working on it. Thank you for this information. Okay, moving to other questions from the chat. Onur is asking, when are you planning to open Covalent merchandise store?
So Andrew one of our alchemists. He's one of our like regional leaders who is like a top performer for Team Turkey. So thanks for coming on, love your support. So in terms of that, I have had many alchemists ask me about merchandise. As some of the people who have been involved in the community have seen people creating like t-shirts, keychains, wallets, lamps, like it's crazy. But I am working with a few other alchemists where they actually want to turn that into a charity initiative for people to get involved. So if they want to give back collectively to a charity of their choice, but also like sell their merchandise and give back, that's the way that they want to position it. So they're leading that initiative. I'm leaving it to them to like set up the proposal on how it's going to be planned. But those are like examples of community-driven initiatives that we love seeing, and the fact that they want to do it to like give back to other charities or causes that they all agree on, and like is amazing. So there is this one alchemist who I actually bought a charcuterie board. He's like a carpenter and created this awesome charcuterie board using our Covalent logo. So we're going to take that as like a use case where I'll get to donate to whatever charity like that they decide to well, I guess collectively like that I should donate to. So we want to start doing more things like that. So we're seeing like more merch come through. But yeah, it's always like giving back to. It's like another thing that we love doing and want to continue that. And yeah, like if it provides other opportunities for other alchemists who want to be able to like learn how to run e-commerce or sell like their merchandise, then why not? But yeah, to answer your question, Honor.
Okay, thanks. Next question coming from Howard. Are there any plans to gamify Covalent or provide gamified experiences that includes NFTs, etc., to increase adoption towards Covalent?
Ooh. I have one thing, but I don't know, Pratik, if you want to start.
No, I mean, we are building products. Actually, like I said earlier, like during the use cases question that you asked. So we are building products, and one of the products is actually around NFTs and getting more adoption to NFTs. And that will be launched soon as well. So I can't share more details around that, but yeah, we will be launching that soon. And it is like a super, super exciting product. It is around NFTs, making life easy for artists. That's what we are aiming at. And this will be coming out soon. But yeah, Jackie, yeah, you want to say something?
Well, I guess it's not so much of like gamifying the Covalent experience, but we do have a set of alchemists again who they would love to create. We're creating an esports team for Covalent, which will involve like NFTs, prizes, them competing and being able to introduce the technology and talking about it during gaming. I don't know how that's going to work. They're setting it up, but another community-driven initiative where they get to implement their passion but learn about the technology at the same time and integrate NFTs. I think that's pretty awesome. So yeah.
Hey, great. Don't tell me that this new NFT feature is coming also this summer, because it will be too much to take.
Yeah, there has to be too much to take. Yeah.
Okay, so to people asking about the price of the token expected to skyrocket this summer. Next question coming from Olga. Could you please advise staking range? On the website, it shows 3 to 20%. If higher amount of security will be staked, APR will be equally increased?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll take that question, Jackie. So basically, if you look at the other projects in the industry, yeah, the model they follow is there is a fixed APR and there is like a variable APR. And most of the projects have a variable APR because it totally depends on the supply and demand of how many people are actually staking at that point in time. So if we want, like, and of course, like on our side, the reason we've mentioned it 3 to 20 is because we want to keep it variable and make it fair for everyone to kind of participate. So we cannot give you a number at this point. But yeah, like to answer your second, like the second part of the question is basically if a higher amount of security will be staked, APR will be equally increased. It depends. I mean, again, we don't have like exact details on this. We will be putting out like a blog post, a tutorial around all of this. But if you look at the other projects in the industry, the more tokens you add to a staking contract, the APR actually comes down based on the supply and demand. That's how usually staking works. And lesser people there are, the higher the API. But yeah, like we will be putting out those details specifically whenever we go live. And yeah, that's the answer. I have.
Okay, we're looking forward to it going live. I think we have most of the all of the questions actually from the chat answered.
Sure.
So like an open question right now. Imagine it's like 5 or 10 years from now, you are still with Covalent. The Covalent is doing great. So how do you think, where will Covalent stand within those 5 to 10 years? What will be the position of Covalent in terms of usage in the crypto space and the overall position of the project?
Sure. Jackie, you want me to take that one?
You can speculate any way you want.
Okay, like I can definitely speculate on the product side of things because I'm very confident on the team. We have the best team in this industry to kind of take on the product, so I can definitely just talk big numbers because we can achieve those numbers. That's on the product side. So yeah, to answer your question specifically, 5 years is you said 5 years, right? So like 5 years,
10 years.
Yeah. Okay. That's a big horizon to think of.
Yeah.
We take 6 months at a time, literally 3-4 months at a time. But yeah, like if you ask me like 5-10 years, I'm seeing Covalent at the intersection of crypto as well as like the mainstream adoption, and we bringing that mainstream adoption to crypto and translating most of the whatever the success that we've had in Web3 to the Web2 world, and making like the big players or institutions or companies or big companies or the big fives or whatever you want to call them to kind of use have them use Covalent API in a better or a meaningful way. So we could go there. So we are essentially wanting to expand our horizon into like different things, not just data, because with data you can do like literally everything, right? So it could be entertainment, it could be philanthropy, it could be a lifestyle. We're seeing all these things kind of bloom within the Covalent ecosystem or the network as we speak. We are talking so yeah, basically standing at the cusp of like the mainstream adoption. That's where we see Covalent at. And then if you just want to talk about numbers, I can throw like numbers, but currently we have about 15 blockchains indexed. Maybe by 2025 we will have about 100 blockchains, which includes the layer 1s and the layer 2s. We are serving 250 plus projects at this point, so you could see that number easily jump up to, let's say, 20,000 or 50,000. Easily, and the reason I'm saying easily is because of the community involvement, because Covalent essentially at that point in time will be a community-led project, because that's our goal. I mean, we've spoken about it, we've been vocal about it, so that's where we see Covalent going. If I have I answered your question?
Preach.
Great. So Jackie, what's your vision?
I totally agree with Pratik. He just put the nail on it. And I'm very passionate and very I believe that we are going to make like a huge difference, be the ones who leave a legacy and make noise in both the mainstream or traditional and non-traditional like aspects, whether if it's in like big data companies in the traditional spaces or like in the blockchain space. And when I talk about like mainstream, I guess like I view a lot of different issues that have been happening in terms of, you can look at like topic shows or documentaries that have been talked about. Like now we're seeing issues on data that have been talked about on like Netflix, where you're seeing like large corporations, businesses, or big data companies like Facebook, Google, Twitter have discussions on like how they actually thrive and monetize all aspects of data. And there's no real like actual like transparency or how it's being used or how it's being monetized without users actually knowing. So every day, people like you and I, it kind of leaves people powerless in a sense, where there's, again, little to no transparency, tools, or like education that is given on how the data is being utilized. So us being able to provide that transparency, not just in the blockchain space and break into the mainstream like traditional space is huge. And I see us being basically like the Google of all of that, like the Google of data, like, and in blockchain too. I'm very confident that our team can achieve that, especially like with the expertise, the milestones that we've been able to hit and what we've been able to deliver and execute, and the people that we have backing us, including like top level tier partners who have actually like shifted to us because of what we've been able to do. Like it tells you something. So we're very excited.
Okay, thank you for your answers. I definitely feel inspired right now towards the Covalent problem. I hope that our viewers feel the same. So since our 1 hour runtime is coming to an end, we have received one more extremely important question in the chat coming from Aryan. What are your plans about meetup with Covalent Team for Alchemists?
Oh my gosh, I love Aryan. Aryan is another leading alchemist who champions. Well, Igor, you would know he's always popping up in chats. Such an awesome leader who takes initiative on things. But I've actually had alchemists ask me about like, when is the Alchemist conference? Like, when are we gonna meet the team? Like, when are we gonna come over? Especially everything opening up, and I mean, we've all gone through difficult times during the pandemic. I mean, this would be awesome to be able to throw that. Probably start thinking about those things when things like actually open up and go back to normal. I mean, it's different in different parts of the world, but it would be awesome to actually bring everybody together and host like some sort of like Alchemist conference or like community conference where we can actually connect on a different level and do some really cool things. But yeah, I don't have an answer for that, but that would be pretty neat. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket.
We will be waiting for an announcement on that, surely, to join you. Okay, so thank you very much for coming over. Thank you for answering all the questions. I think we've got a lot of knowledge and insights from you. We'll definitely be waiting for those summer announcements that you promised us. And also big thanks to all of the people who came and asked the questions. Thank you very much. So would you like to add something at the end?
Yeah, no, just a huge thank you. This was awesome to take part in and having the opportunities to reach different communities from different regions too. Appreciate all the questions. They were really good questions. For those who want to find out more, I would highly recommend either joining our Telegram, especially our Discord, because I saw a question about how to join hackathons. We'll post all our main announcements for events there on how you can get involved, including like quizzes, like puzzles, any upcoming other events that you can do. But yeah, we look forward to welcoming you. But yeah, you can reach us through Discord, Telegram. I'm always there. These guys know. But yeah, no, appreciate it. Pratik?
Yeah, just would like to thank Igor for hosting us. This was great. And then happy to kind of chat with everyone off, let's say on Discord or Twitter. Happy to like answer more questions if you guys have any.
Great. This stream will be available later on our YouTube channel, and
Sure.
I will make sure to add all the links to Discord and Telegram as well, so that you can join the Alchemist, the Covalent community. Okay, thank you guys. Have a nice day, and see you later. See you in future.
Thank you, Igor. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thanks.
you.